Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video, and if you like to hear me rage, buckle up because we got a two-pack for you guys. We're gonna talk Capcom screwing over PC gamers once again with their latest update for Resident Evil 4. They took away de novo. How about the addition of Enigma DRM? And then also, on top of that, PlayStation has revealed the Horizon live service game, which everybody knows has been in development. And man, I think this game looks atrocious. I think this game looks terrible. And because of this game, I do believe Horizon 3 has been benched for a couple more years. They can be like, oh no, we're still working on the game, guys, I swear. But guess what? Horizon Forbidden West came out in 2022. Horizon 3 hasn't even been announced yet. Next year will mark 5 years since Horizon 2 came out. 5 years is the general turnaround time for most of these games. And I don't believe Horizon 3 is coming out by February of next year. I think it'll be an early 2028 game at the earliest, but I digress. We got Horizon Hunters and Gathering. Horizon's Hunter Gathering, the Horizon TikTok edition, so we'll talk that at the end of this video. But first of all, Capcom, after you built a little bit of goodwill, which I honestly don't think you deserve after the Monster Hunter Wilds patch because it took you 1 year to fix that game, now we got Resident Evil 4 Remake getting the Enigma DRM and it actually cooking the performance level of this game. Now, shout out to KyoCat on YouTube. I'll leave a link to their video in the description box below. They've got a side-by-side comparison of Resident Evil 4 running on the Enigma DRM and then also cracked with Steam not running. They're running the game on an RTX 4060 Ti, which is actually great, mid-level GPU there, and they show the settings and whatnot, and you can see that the performance gets cooked about 20% or so, 25% around that range with the Enigma DRM running, and that is just egregious to me. That is just absolutely egregious given that this is also a game that came out a couple years ago, and again, the frame rate that they're showing, is the game still playable? Absolutely, but it's beyond that. It's about Capcom's track record. It's about games like Dragon's Dogma 2 having so much issues. It's about Monster Hunter Wilds having so much issues. It's the disrespect that constantly gets thrown at PC players over and over and over again, and it's like, dude, Resident Evil 4 sold incredibly well. I think the game did really well on PC as well. And I think it would do well without the DRM as well. You guys know how I feel about the piracy situation and DRM being implemented. I think there is a valuable resource called goodwill that you cannot quantify that removing your DRM builds that they take for granted. And I think Capcom, they are one of the best publishers in all of gaming in terms of the consistent quality level of their games. Resident Evil games are phenomenal. Monster Hunter Wilds, even as butchered as the PC release was, I still thought it was an enjoyable game, but there's no excuse for how terrible that PC version was. Dragon's Dogma 2 was obviously a little bit divisive, but generally speaking, they're one of the better publishers in terms of pure core game quality. However, their PC optimization leaves a lot to be desired, and Monster Hunter Wilds I really do think did damage to Monster Hunter as an IP. Is it dead as an IP? Absolutely not, but why go in that direction? Just a few little shifts, I think, could, first of all, build goodwill with the audience, make the games do better, and also promote future games. A lot of the times people will talk about games like Monster Hunter Wilds and look at, oh, the game peaked at X amount of millions of players. Well, yes, because people were really excited about Monster Hunter Wilds, because Monster Hunter World did a lot of heavy lifting in terms of how that game was received. However, with how Wilds is received, no publisher wants their games to be at a mixed reception, a negative reception, negative Steam reviews left and right, takes a year to fix. That doesn't build goodwill. That doesn't. And it's going to impact future titles. Look at how, for a long time, Call of Duty was perceived to be an indestructible franchise, and it is in a lot of regards. However, there has also been damage done to Call of Duty as an IP for constantly taking the player for granted, and Ubisoft games as well. You would think a lot of their games, indestructible, those IPs have such lineage and such legacy attached to them. It's better not to go all in that direction and continually crapping on the consumer, because at some point it can bite you in the ass. I think Ubisoft has figured that out, and there's entities that continue treating the consumer like crap, and at the end of the day they're still making money hand over fist. I totally get that, but why not just go in the direction of treating the consumer with a modicum of respect? And you're talking about a game that came out 3 years ago at this point. The game goes on sale all the time. We don't need this DRM nonsense in this game. And I do know that sometimes it's just a Japanese publisher thing where Japanese publishers are really against piracy. Like, I get it that PC gaming and Japanese publishers, it's still a relatively new thing where all of these games are coming out. And when I say relatively new, I mean in the last decade, but in the totality of how long gaming's been around, a decade is a drop in the bucket, or not a drop in the bucket, but you get it. It's not the longest time in the world, and they're kind of set in their ways, I believe, when it comes to DRM, and it's not exclusive to Japanese publishers, don't get me wrong, but Japanese publishers, when it comes to PC optimization and treating the PC consumer with respect, I do feel like they go awry. I give credit to, you know, the Legend of Heroes games and how they've been ported to PC in terms of Durante being involved in getting those games really optimized and offering a lot of options, because that does offer a level of goodwill. And yes, I know Legend of Heroes is never going to be as big as Resident Evil as an IP. However, relative to what Legend of Heroes was, I feel like building some goodwill with your audience goes a long way. And with Resident Evil, it's a juggernaut of an IP. Just a few little tweaks, I think, will ultimately benefit you on the back end. That's the reality. I want these games to be as big as possible. Capcom, I want you to make money hand over fist on the PC audience, and maybe it's not my place to judge on DRM being implemented because I'm a schmuck on YouTube making videos and you guys are running the multi-million-dollar corporation and you know what's best for your IP, etc., etc. But beyond just Resident Evil 4, like Monster Hunter Wilds, how is that anything good being done in terms of the optimization of that game? Dragon's Dogma 2, how is that any good? That does damage to the IP. That does damage to the trust that consumers are going to have with you. And again, that's the unquantifiable metric that these publishers, I feel like, at a lot of times take for granted. That goodwill. Yeah, you could try to do all of your things, and I'm not saying Capcom is doing egregious monetization, but you know, other publishers do egregious monetization, and you're like, oh, we can make so much money up front, but you damage that goodwill. You're perceived in a different way, and it doesn't happen overnight. But look at Ubisoft as a case study, and again, it's not going to happen with Capcom overnight because some of their games are still going to be the most anticipated games of any given year, but I do think there's something to be said on just avoiding this entirely in terms of damaging your own perception. But I digress. It's not the end of the world, especially, you know, Requiem's going to come out. It's going to be a gigantic game, but you know, I look at a lot of what Capcom is doing, and it's just like, dude, you guys got so many great games coming out. You guys got so many top-level IPs at this point. Just fix up the PC side of things a little bit, and I think you'd be cooking. But regardless, moving on from that, you want to know what's not cooking? PlayStation. PlayStation and this new Horizon live service title, which everybody knew was in development. This game looks appalling. This game looks awful. And for people being, oh my god, Bush, you're being too negative. Dude, this art style totally butchers the identity of Horizon. I don't care. I get that some people like it. Oh, it's just Dauntless. Okay. Like, Dauntless ain't around anymore. Like, does anybody want to bring that fact up? Now, Dauntless had a good run. A live service game being around as long as Dauntless had, that is a huge, huge W. However, Horizon, I don't think this is a game that people were clamoring for a live service game. They're piggybacking off of an IP that has been historically successful, and they're trying to make something with Horizon Hunter's Gathering. I think the character designs look terrible. I think this cartoony art style, people are just sick and tired of it, especially the core fan base of Horizon. I get it. There are some people online that are like, oh, this looks good. I do think a lot of that is PlayStation fanboys that don't want to criticize anything PlayStation does. Like, there's people that are like, oh, you're judging Concord before it comes out. Like, bro, they put out promotional material for it to be judged. We are within our right to judge a game based on promotional material. What is promotional material supposed to be? Oh, you just have to consume it and be like, yeah, we're hyped because the promo's out. We're hyped for it now. No, you judge it based on the promotional material, and I think this art style looks pitiful. I think it looks straight garbage, and it's not what I want Horizon to be. And also, bear in mind that Horizon Forbidden West initially came out 4 years ago. We know that Horizon 3 is in development, but I totally believe that because this is a guerrilla-developed title. It's not like the MMO that was done by NCSoft. This did halt the development of Horizon 3. 2027 is going to come around. 5 years is going to go by since Horizon Forbidden West came out, and would you look at that, 5 years is the time usually it takes to get these sequels out. Yote came out in 5 years. Forbidden West came out 5 years after Zero Dawn in a global shutdown when the core of the development took place. Think about that for a second. It's going to be 5 years, and we're not going to we're not going to have Horizon 3. And why is that? I do believe it's because a lot of these live service titles halt projects, and that goes for Sony. Ben, 6 years without putting out a game, 7 years actually. What can we do? Let's monetize Days Gone again. You guys want a sequel? No, you're not getting a sequel because we love live service and we need that microtransaction revenue. Naughty Dog, no game for like 7 years, 6 years at this point. It's gonna be 7 years by the time Intergalactic, might be 8 years by the time Intergalactic comes out, all for live service, all for chasing the microtransaction bag. And more often than not, it's been a disaster for PlayStation. I get it. GT7 was successful. It's Gran Turismo, and that was a mainline Gran Turismo title. Helldivers 2 was very successful, but Helldivers 2 was done by Arrowhead, and it didn't really attack the integrity of what Helldivers was. I played Helldivers 1, and anybody with a brain cell looking at Helldivers 2, you could at least see there would be the potential to be successful. And I've been wrong in the past, but I'm not even here to be like I'm Nostradamus or anything like that. We were all right about Concord. I'm saying we were all right because people with a brain cell saw that coming. People with a brain cell saw the High Guard situation coming. People with a brain cell saw a lot of these things coming from a mile away, and I think there has to be something to be said for the wait and see. You can't judge a game. It's like, dude, yes, we can. And sometimes we'll be wrong. Maybe it'll turn out well, but this is one that I just think looks terrible. Like, the art direction right off the bat, I think looks atrocious, but nonetheless, we'll see how it goes, and I don't have high hopes for it. But that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts. Resident Evil 4 gets a bit butchered. Is it still playable? Absolutely, but you don't want to see stuff like that if it's avoidable, and in this situation it is, and I think Horizon Hunters Gathering looks terrible. That'll do it for me. Your thoughts down below. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate it if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.